Magic Lamp by Phil Pavey. It was, Harry Beddoes felt, a very fine bedside lamp. He had always been fond of it, and was immensely pleased to have kept it. There were those, of course, who said it was vulgar or kitsch, but he loved its gleaming brass base, bulbous white and gold china stem, rounded metallic mount, finely decorated glass shade, and delicate brass finial, suggestive of an oil lamp in a 19th century saloon. There had originally been two, a present from his parents to him and his wife Hilary, but one had somehow got lost years before in a house move. Hilary maintained that it was his that was lost, and claimed the remaining one for her side of the bed. But he couldn't see how anyone could tell which had been his or hers. Since they had been a present from his parents, he reckoned the survivor morally belonged to him. The hassle over this, gnawing away over the years, was of course only a tiny factor amongst many in the process that had eventually led to their divorce. But in a way it typified the sort of tensions that had grown between them and how they arose from her unreasonable attitude. In contrast to the lamp's Victorian appearance, its operation was a modern novelty. Once plugged in, the touch of a fingertip to any metal part of the lamp switched it on. A further touch made it brighter, another touch brighter still, and a fourth touch turned it off. It also worked with other parts of the anatomy, such as the nose or elbow, but it did not respond to inanimate objects, such as a pencil or a spoon. Also, he had discovered by trial and error that it did not work by touching it through fabric, such as a sleeve or a glove, or even a handkerchief, but it could sometimes be fooled by touching it through paper. Most curiously of all, touching the china stem did not work with a single touch, but it did respond to two simultaneous touches on either side from two fingertips or a finger and thumb. Clearly it was all down to conductivity, but he would never fathom out how it worked. Perhaps that was part of its charm. On the night of his decree absolute, Harry went to bed early and touched the lamp 3 times to achieve the maximum brightness which he needed these days for reading. At length, after a couple of chapters, he was suitably sleepy and touched the lamp to turn it off. But it didn't go off. To his surprise, it became 1 stage brighter. He was sure it had never had a 4th brightness setting, so it was strange that it apparently had one now. He thought he must have had it on the 2nd level by mistake, and that when he touched it, intending to turn it off, it just went to the top brightness. So he touched it again, but again it became brighter still. This was ridiculous. He touched it again and brighter, and again it became brighter, and after an angry rain of touches it was fiercely floodlighting the bedroom. Surely the bulb couldn't take it. With more increasingly desperate touches, it was a little like a sun in the room, impossible to look at, and now giving off detectable heat. At this rate, it could start a fire. And of course he came to his senses. It must just be an electrical fault in the lamp, some sort of reversed polarity or something, and the simple solution was to switch it off at the mains.